concerns are here in Carrickmacross?
In Carrickmacross now we've had an awful influx of migrants into the town. Women don't feel safe walking the streets. There's no nightlife. The town is practically dead. People are angry. People are fed up. Taxpayers like me, I call ourselves tax slaves, like us, are going to work in the morning, paying for all this, and then we find out today they're getting free medical, they're getting free accommodation, everything's handed them on a golden plate, and we're the ones that are paying for it.
And there was a rather large demonstration here last Friday. What was that like?
Everyone's saying the same thing. They're fed up of what's going on, they're fed up with the government, they're fed up with the fake opposition from Sein Fein. He said it there tonight, he's the opposition, yet no, they're not opposing what's going on.
And what did you think that the Garda Síochána declined to send a representative to address the safety concerns in particular?
The Garda Síochána, as I said last week, they're out of their depth, they can't cope. There's a new breed of criminal coming into the country, and they are just not equipped to handle it. And then you have to factor in this DEI, diversity, quality and integration, all that kind of stuff. And what's happening there is, in order for that to happen, standards have to drop, and they proved that there 2 months ago when they don't have to do sit-ups or push-ups for their fitness test. So how can you have a robust, fit police force if they can't even do a fitness test?
The local people gathered here this evening, they asked a lot of questions, and at points it seemed that emotions were running quite high. Did you feel that the questions were answered?
No questions was answered. The questions, it was like there was just a chairman there that wasn't allowed to speak. So basically we came here tonight to hear what was going to be done with our town, the town I grew up in, the town I went to school with, and we're afraid to walk down the streets, and no one addressed that issue. We didn't get nothing was resolved. I'm going home tonight, no further on, because no questions was answered.
Do you have faith that the local representatives or representative of the county council will actually follow through with doing something?
Well, going on what I saw tonight, no, I don't. I'd need a bit more answers to questions. There was hard questions asked there tonight because people are angry. They're angry at what's happening to our lovely little town, the town of Carrickmacross Lace. So it's far from that now. And it was a safe town. It was a town that you could walk up on your own. And just last week, I drove through the town and I said to my husband that I know his people walk in pairs now, or with a dog. That didn't happen when I was growing up in this town. We could go to the fiddlers, to the discos, we could walk anywhere. We could stay in the town an hour after the discos, feel quite safe. But that town's gone. And we're fearful for our kids. We're fearful for our kids, for our grandchildren, and that's why I'm here tonight. I just feel fear for the future of Ireland, for the future generations.
My concern, I'm sorry, this evening, yes, definitely women, because obviously I grew up in the 80s, and I can recall when Carrick had 4 nightclubs, and it was more than safe to walk home to my home, we'll say at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Whereas now I am reluctant to walk down the main street of Carrickmacross at 2 p.m. in the afternoon or 3 p.m. I usually take my car with me because I fear every corner I come around. And as some of the individuals have highlighted here this evening, especially if you approach an ATM machine, you tend to be kind of surrounded by large groups of males, and I would find the whole experience totally intimidating. So hence I am reluctant to go to ATM machines, and if I can I will just use my cards in shops or the likes, and I will avoid going to the ATM machines if I'm looking for cash or something like that. I would probably just get cash back in a local store instead.
During the meeting you expressed concern for the children in Carrickmacross. Can you tell us what that's about?
Well, my kids, when they were growing up, walked to school themselves, came home from school themselves. I have a granddaughter, she's 10 years of age, she goes to the Irish school. And one day I heard her asking her mother, could she walk down from the chapel, which is only a hen's race, like down. She wouldn't allow her. And I'm there, Shauna, the child needs to be able to do things on her own like she needs. She says, Mum, you don't know what's going on out there. There's no way I can do and let her do that. So that was the kind of, all right, I pulled my horns in. You have to do these things. But I actually did. I went out and I seen what was going on. Seen all this, that I cannot believe that is going on. Now, she's in the Irish school. There's foreign nationals in the Irish school. I have nothing against anybody, but I cannot understand how kids is in an Irish school expected to learn Irish when they don't even know English. It doesn't make sense.
You spoke about what you saw that shocked you. Can you be a bit more specific? What did you see?
Well, I used to live in Claw Valley, lived there all my life. We always had a park. It was always full. We always got on. We had our fights. We sorted it, everything. I went down one day with the grandkids. I had to leave. As they said, there was spitting. They were being pushed around. We were being stared at. We were everything. I could not believe it. So we ended up, we had to leave.
And how long has that kind of situation been going on in Carrickmacross?
Definitely at least the last 2 years. And it's worse, it's getting every day. I only come downtown when I have to come downtown. Like you used to be able to walk down the street. You knew everybody. You go for a loaf of bread, it could take you 2 hours because all you're doing is talking. My kids used to say, I'm not going with you, ma'am. Nowadays, it only takes you 2 minutes.
Carrickmacross, as I say, has been a great town over many decades. Vibrant, bustling, a great community, fantastic businesses. Over the past decade or more, we've faced a number of challenges. There is an issue with antisocial behaviour and crime, and particularly a lack of Garda visibility. The image that we all saw of a knife-wielding man on our main street in particular, but also other incidents, have caused huge concern and indeed fear. And then there's the wider mismanagement of the migration system, which has led to profiteering and a complete disregard for the needs of local communities or the capacity of services, which has impacted on Carrickmacross.
Funny Sinn Fein saying that now, isn't it? When for the last 4 or 5 years they've been completely silent on it. And you know, if you say it to a Shinner, they'd be like, no, Sinn Fein always talked about it. They always talked about it. They did fuck all. They did nothing. They should have fought harder if they were saying anything, but they didn't. They stayed quiet.
I am unequivocally anti-racist, and I won't make any apologies for that. As a child, I lived in Britain for a while during the 1980s, and I saw anti-Irish hostility, and I'll never support either the targeting or othering of another person or group because of their race. I do believe in a managed migration system where those who are entitled to be in Ireland are treated with decency and supported to integrate into our society and participate in the workforce, but also where those who are not entitled to be here are made to leave. And I believe that where anyone who has come to Ireland and then abused our welcome by committing serious crimes, I believe they should be swiftly deported and permanently barred from ever returning. I have some serious issues which I've articulated on several occasions over the past 10 years with the current asylum system in Ireland, in which processing times take too long, where decisions aren't enforced, and where a government gives a small number of individuals huge amounts of public money while...
There you go. There's Sinn Fein. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. Passing the buck again. Absolute waste of space, the Shinners. All of them are. All of them.